Hello guys, so we have now the following moments which we need to improve in our user interface. First is we want to show this date in the proper way. Secondly, we want to show here, not the keyboard, we want to show here a picker, date picker. Then the gender, we want to show the picker and we don't want to show 1, which is states for male, and 0 for female. And the another one, the last one, we want this password. Let's say once we change it, we want to cast a boolean variable which will say the password has been changed. Then it will change in the server. If the password has not been changed, so then it won't be changed in the server. This is what the logic we need to build. So I'll start from the date picker. This is the one. As you know, we already had implemented this in the register view controller, so we can easily just grab this code. So go to register view controller, go to the top, copy date picker coding object, and let's paste it in there. Edit view controller. Then we're going to view did load function. This is what we have already wrote. Just copy this code where we create a full date picker. There must be, in my case, 5 lines of the code. And we're going now to view the load. I'll write a code here, configure comment, configure birthday text fields picker. And the last step of implementing the date picker is to copy the function which we execute, date picker did change. So in register VC we have this function written, so copy this function and we can paste it, let's say right after image view picker selection. Okay, so yeah, now we know what we need to do, a little adjustments. Now from the function which we have copied, remove this part which states birthday continue button is hidden or not. Remove this if statement. And this compare date we can remove as well because we don't need a compare date here. So here we go. We have it, and once we select a proper date, it shows us the date in the proper format. And another thing, what we need to change actually, when we just come to the edit view controller, we want this to be shown in the same format like we're getting it here. Okay, so for that we need to use a date formatter, and here is already the comments which we wrote, declaring the format of the date, then to place the dummy date into this format. So we want to keep this format where there is a year, month, date. This is the one. Okay, so we can, what we can do is, and also this block of code we don't need it as well to declare the formatter for the compare date. And the last moment to work on the birthday text field and the appearance is to write in load user the appearance of our birthday. Okay, so here there are 2 steps. If we will print out here our birthday, just to show you, it will appear in a certain format where how it's shown in our database. So this is how it looks like. What we need to do is, this is the string. We need to convert this string into a date type. Then we need to reprint, reshow the string in the format that we need. Okay, so I will declare a first formatter which I will call get, equals to date formatter, open and close round brackets. Then we'll write formatter get dot date format equals to, and we need to write this format because this string will be placed into this format. So first we have a years, 4 digits of the year. So we write here y, which states for the year. Then we have a month. Then we put double M capitalized. Capitalized M states for the month. Then dash, we write date, 2 digits, D and D lowercase. Then we have an hour, space, we write hour, H capital states for hour. Then we have a colon, then we got the minutes, M lowercase states for minutes. Then we have a seconds, we put colon, double S for seconds. And then we have a time zone, we put space and we put 4 times Z. Excellent. So what we are doing now, we will convert this string into a date. We'll write formatter get dot date from the string. String is the birthday string. So as the birthday string is the string always, so here in the guard function we write as question mark string. Okay, and here we put birthday. In order to make sure that we've done everything correctly, let's print out this line of the code. If you have done everything in the proper way, it will show you this value. So this means everything is done well. The date which we got from the server, this one, fits our format. Okay, so step number one to show the date in the user interface format, like in a special user interface format. Okay, the step number one will be to place string of date in the valid date format to convert it to the date type. Okay, very good. Now we'll write the step 2 to show the date in the proper format for the user interface is to declare new format of showing the date to the users. Okay, here we'll write a new format. Let formatter show equals to date formatter, open and close round brackets, and here we'll write formatter show dot date format, and we want to show this date format. So we have 3 letters of month. We'll write here 3 letters of month. Then we have a space. We have 2 digits of the dates. Then we put comma, and then we have 4 digits of the year. So we put 4 times y. Very simple, isn't it? And then finally we want to show this everything in the birthday text field. And here we write birthday text field equals to formatter show dot string from the date. The date which we have converted date from the string, this is the one we can assign to a new constant. We'll write let date equals to the value which this function has executed. So this date we'll put here. Don't forget to put here exclamation mark to false don't cast it. Yeah, and this one the thing is here we need to put birthday text field dot text. like this. And now the date will be shown in the SuperWrite format. We're going to edit, and here we go. This is how it looks like. This is the result which we wanted to achieve. And so here we are configuring the appearance of the date. And another thing what I would like to do is, if here is a 1, I will want to cast it as a male, and if there is a 0, I want to cast it as a female. And for that, it's very simple. It's just an if statement. If gender, let's cast it as a string as well. Here we go, gender as string. If gender equals to 1, then open round bracket. Here we can write gender text field dot text equals to male, else it equals to female. And from here we'll remove birthday text field and gender text fields text association. So we'll now build and run. Very good. So it's male. So here I'll write for you a comment. If the value in gender equals 1, show male, or show female if there is a different value than 1. Okay, so we are progressing very fast with this, and another step will be to create a bigger view for the male. Okay, so for that purpose we will create here a new object which will be, we'll write here var, a variable, gender bigger colon, and it will be of type UI bigger view. That's the one, and exclamation mark. And I want to declare the values which will be shown in the speaker view. So we'll write here let gender values or gender picker values will be equals to, and here we'll write an array. So first will be male and comma, and then will be female. So two values will be as an option. For example, we'll select the gender text field. It will have the same figure, and it will have two values, male and female. Okay, so these are the values which we want to store. And the next step will be to include certain libraries which are responsible for this. There are two libraries. First one is UI Picker View Delegate, and the second one UI Picker View Data Source. Excellent. So this two values allows us to access a certain function of the picker view, which allows us to manipulate the picker view. Okay, I'll scroll down, and here right after date picker changed, I'll write here one function which is a number of components in picker view. This function which we are getting from these libraries. Okay, and here we'll write how number of components, how many components we want to show in the picker view. Number of components here, when we select a birthday text field, we have three components: month, date, and the year. So for the picker view, we want to return only one component, which will be just a gender, male or female. Okay. I can write for you number of columns in the picker. And another one will be another function which we want to show what next function will be responsible for what exactly to show in this picker. So we will write here number of rows in section means how many rows will be there. So here let's say there are 12 months, so 12 rows for this component. So here we need to return total number of this gender picker values. So here we'll write return gender picker values dot count, means whatever, if there are, let's say, 10 genders, so then return all of them. Okay, and the last one will be, one of the last one will be title, what exactly it should state. So this one, number of rows in the picker, gender picker, I'll write for you. Very good. So then we write title for row for component. This is the one which we need. Select title for row for component, and here what exactly should be the title? We will return gender picker values, and in the square brackets we'll write raw. These are title for the raw. Okay, very good. And now we are going to view the load function. Here we will here we will create and configure gender picker view for gender text field. Okay, and here we write gender picker equals to UI picker view, open and close round brackets. Then we write gender picker dot data source equals self, and then we write gender picker dot delegate equals self, means to create the connections with this library and access these two libraries to make a connection with this view controller. And another line will be gender text field dot input view gender picker, to show in the text field a picker. And we can now build and run this. Number of rows in component. This function must be written, but I think we haven't write this. Yeah, here we wrote table view. It must be a picker view. Number of rows, here we go. Number of rows must be the total number values of the gender picker view. Okay, I'll now build and run the function. I'm going to edit and I'm selecting, and very good. So we have here, let me just guide you through. Number of components means number of columns. We have one column, which is that's the one, where for date we have 3. Then we've got number of rows, how many rows should be there, so it's 2 rows, or all the values of the gender picker values, which are 2, male and female, so number of rows. This return count all the values in this array, gender picker values. And the next one, what should be shown for every single row. So you see here is return row. For every single, it will return every single row. So we have a male and we have a female. Now the last moment, what we need to do is we need to declare when the male selected or female selected, what should be the actions here. So here we need to write a last function, which is picker view did select row. And in this case, we will simply write in the gender text field dot text equals gender picker values in the square brackets raw, means return a certain row of this. This function executed when beaker selected. Okay, very good. So we can now build and run and see the magic of our code. So we're selecting the gender and female, male. Very, very, very good. This is really outstanding, guys. This is amazing. And one more thing, once we've selected the value, I want to end editing or gender text field dot resign first responder. Means once we selected the gender, then we want to hide the picker. We're going to edit, and here when we select a female, like this, male, excellent. This is what we wanted. And the last moment is we will be building the logic. If the password has not been changed, then we will skip in the backend update of the password. So for that to know, to track has it been changed or not, we need to create a 1 boolean value. I'll write it here. Var is password changed. Initially it will be equals to false, and once it changed we'll cast it as true. And we will build a logic is if his password has been changed. If it is true, then update the password in the backend, or do not update the password, update the rest of the values. This is what we want to write, and we are now going to make storyboard to create action connection from this password text field. So I'll just scroll it down right before the date picker did changed. Hold Ctrl left mouse click drag, make it connection of type action, and here we can write text field did changed like this. And here sender, as a sender we will reference variable, we'll write text field, which will be responsible for the UI text field library. Okay, we're going back to edit vController. The only reason why I put this right before date picker change, because just to keep the chronology of the logical chronology of our code. Okay, this function executed whenever connected text field has been changed. I think we have made one mistake. Let's come back to my storyboard. Go to connections, select your password, editing change, text field, editing change. Yeah, this is the value which must be there. Editing change. Make sure that your event is editing change. Aha, here we go. This is in register vController, so we will void this. We will remove all of these connections. Okay, so did end, editing did end. So we want editing changed, because did end, even we can keep a did end, but this is not the best practice, just to show you. Okay, let me keep it in this way, and we'll write here if statement, just to make sure. If text field equals to password text field means the password text field is the one which got changed. Then we write is password changed equals true. Okay, we can now build and run the code, and here we will print out the value is password changed or not. So you see, when we finish editing, when we finish all the editing of our code, then it says the password has been changed. Okay, very good. So this is, we are tracking is password changed or not. So it's actually an excellent practice. So very good, guys. This is how we done with the working with our user interface and the user experience of our EditView controller. And the next part will be to save whatever we write in the backend and to program a backend, to write a backend protocol. So good job, guys. Congratulations.